We're talking actors and directors who put on the shows.
We're talking playwrights and designers who you'll want to know.
From the very first rehearsal to the final curtain call.
We might be off Broadway, but we're talking about it all.
'Cause we're two local gals
with global pals. It's everything, everything, everything theater.
with Benita
and Ellen. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Everything Theater Podcast Backstage episode. I'm Ellen Cribbs.
And I'm Benita Zahn. It's great to be here with all of you. We're just through the holiday weekend. And boy, the summer's flying by and there's so much theater going on.
There really is. Yeah. And luckily the weather's been so beautiful. I caught, Park Stage Company's production of Head Over Heels. It's delightful. It's the perfect way to spend a night outside. So yeah, I love all the summer theater.
If you haven't been there, get there. I'm about to go. The night you went there, I went up to Spec and I saw Sweeney Todd, which was having done it, and you're very intimate with it as well, it was a unique presentation, a concert version, with a minimal staging and props, pieces, but no scenery, and it didn't need it. But they were using subtitles, they put the screens up and they were using subtitles. And I found that interesting. I wonder if that's a holdover from Netflix. We've all become, so Netflix and Prime.
Maybe.
But talking about Saratoga, we're delighted to welcome the director of the Universal Preservation Hall, Teddy Foster, up in Saratoga. Hi, Teddy.
Hello.
So much work has gone on to get that facility ready for prime time. How old is that building?
The building actually turned 150 years old in November. It was built in 1871. And we haven't had its birthday party yet because of the pandemic. So hoping to have 151st birthday party for it sometime this year. Not quite sure.
Ellen and I love parties.
I know that about you, Benita.
Teddy, how is it that you became so intricately involved in the rehabilitation and new life of that facility, the church?
Well, I could talk to you for hours about this, but briefly, I was always a volunteer in Saratoga when I was raising my two sons, and I loved it. So I was working for GE Financial, and I was working for them in Richmond, Virginia, but still kept my home here. And I came back home to live in 2006, and somebody took me to UPH to give me a tour because I was interested in getting re-involved in my community. And I'll never forget it because they took me in there and this place was a bomb site. And I was like, oh my God, what am I doing here? I couldn't believe it. And then my thought was, oh dear God, please don't ask me to be on your board. And of course they did. And of course I said yes, because I felt sorry for them. So that was the beginning. That was 2006. And I helped them raise money and do events. And then in 2009, I was made the board president. And I was the board president from 2009 until 2015. In that time, I negotiated partnership with Proctor, so we became an affiliate of theirs. And when that happened in 2015, Philip Morris hired me as the campaign director to raise the money to complete the building. And so I did that, and we restored the building. And then on February 29th of 2020, when the building had its grand reopening, I was named the director of UPH. And then 10 days later, the world came to an end. But that's brief. That's my timeline, actually.
It's impressive. And now you've got a great lineup, something called, I think, Ellen, are we posting in time for the first item to hit? Ellen's
Yeah.
So the Orchard Project Festival.
Oh, yeah. So the Orchard Project is a wonderful group of people, and they've been around Saratoga probably for, oh, jeepers, I guess 7, maybe 8 years. And they are a summer camp for aspiring actors, playwrights, stage managers, anybody associated with theater. And so they're coming in, and I'm very excited because I've seen the work that they do, and it's top notch. They're going to be at UPH on Friday, July 8th, and they're doing a cabaret called Martha Graham Cracker Solves All Your Problems. And I haven't seen it yet, but they'll be there with us later in the week. And I think it's going to be great. It starts at 9 o'clock. And then Saturday night, they're doing another cabaret that starts at 8 o'clock at UPH. And it's called Famous in New York, musical performance. And I think that that's going to be really spectacular. The Orchard Project never disappoints. I can tell you that. They're wonderful.
That's amazing. And then you've got a couple other things coming up in July. Do you want to run us through the next couple events coming up this month?
Yeah, so we're doing, this is because of popular demand, we're doing a silent disco, which could be really, I think it's going to be a blast. And it's a DJ, people come and there's no music, but they put on headphones and they listen to music on headphones, and everybody thinks that they're dancing to the same music, but there's 3 different channels. And so everybody's listening to a different song. I think it's going to be hilarious. I can't wait to see it and participate. And then we have, that's on July 29th, and on July 30th, we're kicking off our In the Round series, which is a really, really big deal. And it's a group, 2 groups. The Big Takeover is the first group, and the other one is Woody and the Rebel Alliance. And the In the Round series is something new for us. And these are emerging singer-songwriters who are on the cusp of getting really famous, and they're coming in to perform. And I think it's going to be fantastic for downtown Saratoga.
This is quite the eclectic, roundup of events. Who's the mastermind behind, putting this summer schedule together?
Well, Proctor's has a wonderful programming department. Jean Leonard she leads it, and our programmer is a woman named Linnea Bailey. She's new to us, and I can't wait to see all the shows that she's lined up. I think we're going to really have a great summer. We don't really know what we want to be at UPH. We don't know what kind of music is in demand. So this year you're going to see us trying a whole lot of different things to see what people like, what the demand is for. And I think it's a good idea. August 5th, we have a really interesting show coming in. And did you guys ever watch The Godfather? Were you into the Godfather movies? Well, do you remember Carlo Rizzi?
No.
Well, Carlo Rizzi, his real name is Gianni Russo, and he's coming in on August 5th to do his Vegas show with us, and it's called A Show You Can't Refuse, and he's named Gianni Russo, and I think that's going to be a blast. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, you got to ask, what's the mask policy now?
Oh, so we don't, masks are optional in the building now. We went through all the months of you had to be vaccinated, you had to wear a mask, to then you didn't have to be vaccinated, but you had to wear the mask. And now masks are optional in the building.
How many seats at UPH?
UPH is a theater in the round that seats 700. And it's a fantastically intimate space. Nobody's really any farther than 50 feet from the performers. It's wonderful. It's really beautiful.
I'm going to freelance a little. Ellen doesn't even know I'm going to say this, but I think, Teddy, we should book in one night and do our podcast from UPH.
Oh, I would love that. Oh, are you kidding me? Anytime you want.
Yay. We haven't been live since the world shut down, and that's how we went this way. But oh my word, we're going to be in touch.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I would welcome that. I would love you to be there.
Great.
And then we could, not worry about the 40-minute Zoom limit. We
Right.
always run up to the last second on.
Teddy, it sounds like a wonderful, wonderful season coming up. You'll have to come back with us in the fall when you've got that all planned and we can share some more.
Well, I would love that. And thank you so much for inviting me. Just tell everybody, because of the pandemic, we're still the best kept secret in town. So I'm trying to get the word out.
We're here to help.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Have a wonderful evening and I'll see you at UPH soon.
You're on.
Definitely.
We're booking in.
Sounds
Thanks,
good.
Teddy.
Thank
Teddy
you.
Foster, the director over at UPH. What a wonderful season they've got there. Ellen, we have got to figure out some time to get there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah. So what do you think? Take
Yeah,
the show
no.
back on the road, girl?
I think we need to we need to see people. We need to have an audience. We need to get a great guest in. And I know before we've done like a little Q&A with people too. That would be fun with the audience.
So listen, anybody who's listening, we can start, creating a list. You're going to be a little busy for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
With your next production. And but let's look to do this. I'm sure Teddy's already in.
Love it.
So you did get to see Head Over Heels and you loved it.
I loved it. I'd seen it on Broadway and I loved it on Broadway. I really didn't know what to expect. It's a bonkers show. It's all over the place, but that's like part of the fun of it. It's gloriously campy and crazy. But actually watching it this time, kind of in light of recent events, really took away some definite messages about acceptance and tolerance, especially in government and so forth.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this play actually has a lot of layers that I kind of didn't, really think of the first time.
And it's funny because when you're making the season, some of this stuff happens way in advance.
Yeah.
And you're not really sure what the political climate will be like.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and, the other thing I was going to point out is that I loved that a huge percentage of that cast is come through Park Stage Company's education program. And the talent was amazing. It was so good. And to know that those, I want to call them kids, they're not kids now, they're, young adults, but that they've, come through the program and now they're performing at an incredibly professional level is really wonderful to see.
Yeah, they do a great job, and Ashley Simone Krause does a wonderful job and she's the choreographer too, working with the Park Playhouse kids, if you will, as they're coming up because of the classes that are run. So it is a testament to the work, you're right, that they do to see what they are, where they are. Jack Mastriani is an actor, also had been, came up through Park Playhouse. You will see him this summer, just a couple of weeks, actually, less than that, at Capitol Rep. They're doing, and Jakey, come on, it'll come to me in a sec. And to me, it's just Jake. Just Jake. But they're both going to be in Jersey Boys. And both also came through the program. So such a depth of talent, right?
Yeah. It's amazing, the talent that's right here in our back door.
Yeah. Anything else on your list to go see?
Well, I am giving birth in 2 days.
You'll be seeing the inside of a hospital.
So yeah, I'll be checking out the hospital programming. But I did try to cram in as much. I think I saw more theater in the last month than I have in the last 3 years, which isn't all that hard with the pandemic. But I was really getting out there trying to support everybody. Because I know, some times are rough, and unfortunately, locally, one of the big news is that Theater Barn had to suspend the rest of their season because their ticket sales weren't supporting them, and hopefully they'll be back next season, but that's really a shame, and that's the story we're hearing from more and more places, that the ticket sales are not getting back to where they need them to be.
Yeah, and that is a very big problem. And they had a wonderful season.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were going to do Shirley Valentine, Kathleen Carey,
Yeah.
a very well respected actress in the Capital Region. And she was planning to do that role. I was planning to enjoy her on stage seeing it, and Curtain Call is another one. We've had Carol Max as a guest, and she and I had been conversing, and they're struggling, because many, as we talked about, a lot of the theater going audience is mature. And a lot of people over the age of 50 maybe a little less inclined to be indoors. I really wanted to see Ripcord, which closed to very good notices. They run for a month, and unfortunately didn't get to see that. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I saw it. It was very well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think what's coming up next. Let me jump
I know they have that Misery is not their next show, but Misery is coming up.
Record Rose and Walsh.
There it is. Yeah.
Is the next one. She opens on the 14th of July and runs through the 7th. And that's a lesser known Neil Simon.
Yeah. Which is interesting because we chatted because we got to actually go see a show together, which we not done since we did this podcast, but we were at Proctor's enjoying Mean Girls, and we talked about, is now the time for theaters to do the Neil Simons and the, big names, big familiar shows that are going to bring people in on name recognition.
And it may very well be, when we had David Kenner on, equity performer, has a theater company in New York City. Audiences up here have been treated to his performances at Capitol Rep. And he talked about that when theaters began to reopen, the conversation and then the push was in the programming for fun things, because people wanted a little diversion. And I suspect, Ellen, that's still holding. They had, I didn't talk to, we haven't had a chance to talk to Philip Morrison. We're going to get him on to talk about this issue in a couple of weeks. But it looked like the house was, at least opening night, was pretty full.
For Mean Girls, yeah.
And young. But
interestingly, it's an optional mask policy. I was surprised that, we both wore masks, but no one around us was.
No, and I had the picture of us posted.
Yeah.
And somebody with a little bit of edge was like, I didn't think you had to wear a mask there anymore. You could just hear it in their voice. I'm like, well, you don't have to. And I wasn't going to get into the fact that you're about to have a baby. So you don't need any problems. But yeah, and you follow the news, and people, whether the virus is done with us or not, people want to be done with it.
Yeah. And that's why I wonder, how that's affecting ticket sales one way or the other. The older generation, are they nervous because mask mandates have gone away? Or does, the optional mask a relief for people? They say, okay, I'm ready to go back to the theater because I don't want to be sitting there, struggling to breathe through the show.
Right. And I can do whatever it is I please.
Yeah.
I'm just playing with my light here because I realized, darn, it's all the wrong color. I started hitting this. There we go. I like that color a little better. I should point out they were auditioning. Auditions are coming up in, I think, a week, if I've got my date right. At the Two of Us Productions, they are doing a little night music, and they are back performing at not Tamarack, at come on, the school. I'll tell you, the school. I know the audience probably goes, Benita, get your act together. But I've got a name problem.
Especially these backstage episodes are off the cuff. We never know what's going to come up.
No, we don't. I just realized that they're the two of us. I'll get to that. But so they're at the two. of Us Productions. I can make a song out of
There you
anything.
go.
And also known as Rare. And they're based in Copac, but they will be at, I feel like going, honey. I'll come up with it. They're at the school. They're at, it's not Tamarack. It's Taconic Hills.
There you
There
go.
we go. Taconic Hills. They performing at Taconic Hills High School. So check them out. They're auditioning for a little night music. Also, they've posted they're doing a Bright Star up at
Oh, yeah.
Fort Salem. They're
Mhm.
auditioning for that in the next couple of days. Reach out to the folks up there if you're looking to do something, and that goes up in September.
Mhm.
So there's, we're staggering. There are things, and Little Night Music will go up in October.
Nice.
So that's all I got for you.
Mhm. Lots of good shows coming up.
Yeah, there really are. Listen, what is it? Homemade Theater just cast 9
Yeah.
with some newer names and some stalwarts. So that's worth going to see once. They're doing at Schenectady Light, right?
Mhm.
Schenectady Light,
Mhm.
which is, you and I were talking about, that's and I talked with one of the performers, somebody who is cast, and he plays 2 instruments, because you all have to play instruments.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know, and I saw that audition notice out a lot because I feel like, that was a concern. Not only do you need strong actors who can sing, but they also have to do accents and play music, play their own instruments. That's a incredibly demanding show.
Yeah, you and I both saw it in New York.
Yeah.
And I asked, I said, so are they going to serve beer? Can I go up and have a little brewski? And he said, they're talking about it.
Oh,
Because
wow.
it's a working bar.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're not familiar with the show, it happens in a working bar.
Love it.
So, yeah, so there's a lot of interesting stuff coming up,
Mm-hmm.
and then after you tuck in Poopsie, you're directing down the road.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm directing for Albany Civic in February. So that's exciting. I've already tried to get my head around. We already had our first production meeting because I thought once this baby arrives, we're not gonna have a lot of time. So let's get a head start.
Yeah.
Which I gotta say, your production team is so important. And I was very lucky. I got everybody that I wanted, the first person I reached out to, and they've already put lots of thought into it. I'm very excited.
That's wonderful. That's
Yeah.
really to have that. And I know that's can always be a challenge,
Mm-hmm.
in community,
Yeah.
because there's just so many people, and there it's difficult also now. I think wherever you drive, you see help wanted signs,
Yeah.
and getting people to work backstage
Mm-hmm.
has been a challenge in general in
Yeah.
recent years.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to wonder what that's been like
Yeah.
uh, for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I say even in the professional world, sometimes it's hard to fill all those designer slots, and backstage, sometimes it's a scramble, which makes me wish I, spent more attention during my tech classes in college so I could work more backstage.
I joke in my house, I came to the marriage with the toolbox
Mm,
from having done tech.
yeah.
And the pattern to make how you nail flats.
Oh.
And so we joke, and I'm like, honey, just don't touch my drill. This is the one thing we haven't had an opportunity to give a call to, and really should, is see how they're doing over in the Berkshires. And I get the sense that they're also still struggling for audiences based
Mm-hmm.
on the notices.
Yeah.
So let us know where are you going besides just like around the corner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Patrick and Chris, we know you're seeing everything. Patrick White and Chris Foster. But let us know, what are you seeing? Are you traveling as far? Are you taking in as much theater as you had? What do the audiences, look like? Older, younger, masked, not masked? We haven't had a chance to really ask a question of all of you in a while, but we'd love to hear. Give us a sense. Let's take a little temperature. And if you haven't gone back, why not? What's holding you back? What do you need to feel comfortable or to be attracted to go back to the theater?
Yeah. That's good to know. And then we'll send all our information to Equity and say, this is what we're dealing with.
So, yeah, so all I got to you, my sister. It was wonderful talking to Teddy.
Yeah.
What a journey. And I think her story also is really instructive. You said you wish you had taken more, tech classes, but if you have an interest, an inkling and an interest, raise your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Or don't raise your hand.
I mean, that's amazing that she would take it, and end up with a Proctor's collaboration in such a little time from where she started. That's really a lot of initiative and drive.
Yeah.
And theaters need that leadership. That's why boards are so important.
Well said.
Mm-hmm.
So buy tickets.
Yeah.
Go see stuff. Let us know what you're seeing.
Make some donations. Help those companies out if you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Ellen, all best.
Thank you.
When next I see you, you'll be mom of 2.
I know. So yeah, we may not post for 2 or 3 weeks or so. We'll see how life is treating me, but we'll get back. Don't worry if you're like, where's my Everything Theater this week? Yeah. We will certainly be back soon.
And we'll be posting on Facebook. We'll talk with you there. Let us know what and the answer to the question. I'm sure Ellen will post a picture of the baby.
Oh yeah.
And have a great summer, everybody.
Yeah. Enjoy this beautiful weather. Go see some outdoor theater. Woo!
Exactly. Thanks for spending some time with us tonight. I'm Benita Zahn.
And I'm Ellen Cribbs. Thanks for listening, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to the Everything Theater podcast. Special thanks goes out to Alice Grinling for our photography and Justin Friello for composing our amazing theme song. Please remember to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you want to share your thoughts or what's going on in your theater community, you can reach out to us on social media or through our email at everythingtheaterpodcast@gmail.com. Till next time, it's everything.